Welcome to Dundark. Last we left off, we got transported into a terrible present-future World War III war-torn nastiness. And I kinda cut off rather quickly actually, but here we are, we're back, and we finally got to Okinawa. The reason it took a month to get to Okinawa was that we were losing the war. Supposedly, the plan had been to ferry me by plane to Okinawa once I'd arrived at Iruma base. But the constant bombing had slowed us down, so they gave up on the plan. I guess they gave up on both the plane and the plan, so does make sense. And decided I would escape to Kyushu by ground. There was more than one attack by the Soviet spies and assault teams. Some of the SDF soldiers protecting me died. But when I got to Sasebo, I was able to get on a maritime SDF escort ship and managed to escape to Okinawa. Why were they doing this all for me? No matter how many times I asked, no one would answer. Okinawa in winter was covered in thick clouds. Come to think of it, I hadn't seen a real break in the clouds for a whole month. I was thinking about that when I was loaded into a van with dark tinted windows that had come to pick me up from the port. So the car was not only the driver, but a middle-aged man sitting in the front passenger seat. He was very short, perhaps only 150 centimeters tall. But he had the air of a military veteran, and even though he was fully dressed, I could tell he was extremely muscular.
Okabe Rintaro-kun da na. Watashi wa Boeishou Chuo Jouhou Hozentai no Shimoyama to iu. The Ministry of Defense of Japan is one of Japan's central ministries. It manages and operates the SDF. In 2007, it changed its name from the Defense Agency to the Ministry of Defense. Wasn't that nice? これから空港に寄り道してから彼らの沖縄防衛局へ向かう。長旅で疲れているところ申し訳ないが、もうしばらく我慢してくれ。
The Okinawa Defense Bureau is one of the 8 local defense bureaus of Japan. It's in the center of Japan's Ministry of Defense in Okinawa, which makes sense. Oh, it is the center, but you know what I mean. Well, if it's the center, it's also in the center. So I was right. Just gonna say that.
Hi.
I'd heard that Tokyo had been destroyed. Major functions of the Japanese government were now headquartered out of Okinawa Defense Bureau to allow for better cooperation with the American forces stationed nearby. That's what Shimoyama explained to me. In other words, the place I was heading to was the core of Japan's defenses. Once I arrived, would I understand why I was so important that all those soldiers were willing to die to protect me? The car stopped in front of Naha Airport for a while, it's in Okinawa. It's the hub airport for the Okinawa area. The SDF is there. As of 2009, it was the 6th busiest airport in Japan, measured by a number of arriving travelers. Okay. And then I saw a surprising pair get aboard. Oh. Hey. Guess who it is? It's Yuki. And Fubuki. So what are Mayuri's friends doing here? When did they become important to the plot?
君たちはユキさんと中瀬さんじゃないか。
I wasn't expecting to see them there. But they were the first people I knew who I'd met since coming to this world line. That alone was almost enough to make me cry. But still, I couldn't just sit there and be happy.
マユリはマユリの行方を知らないか。
大丈夫です。
Yuki nodded, as if trying to make me feel better.
さっきまで一緒だったんです。
一緒だった。
そうなんですよ。マユシーでしょ、ルミホちゃんでしょ、ルカ君、楓ちゃん。
Mayuri, Ferris, Luca, Kyade. So, Mayuri, her 3 friends, Luca, and Ferris. That only, I guess that leaves, well, like, leaves Daru.
今朝空港に着いて、みんな防衛局というところで保護してもらえるというので待っていたんですが。
Going to the
さっ
defense
き急
bureau.
に私と吹雪ちゃんだけ先に連れて行くと言われて、それでこの車に乗せられたらオカリンさんがいたってわけ。
とにかくみんなが無事でよかった。
Since Daru and Suzu weren't mentioned, I was going to ask about them, but...
すまないが、積もる話は後にしてもらっていいだろうか。
Oh. Shimoyama cut me off, and the car started moving.
沖縄防衛局には君たちのご家族もいずれ到着する予定だ。すでに我々の方で保護はしている。
Huh.
本当ですか？よかった。
別行動になったお友達の皆さんもすぐ後ろの車に乗っている。離れ離れになるわけではないから安心していい。
So a lot of care is being taken to get Okabe and his friends all together and safe. I took a quick look and saw another identical van behind us. So, Mayuri and the others were there?
じゃあ後でまた会えるんですね。
もちろんだ。
Yuki let out a sigh of relief. But then, I started to wonder about something else. Why were we split into different cars? Well, I mean, you guys have a lot of friends. I mean, to be fair. Oh, this van could hold at least another 3 people. If we squeeze tight, it could easily hold everyone. Well, I guess, yeah, if there's 3 in here, and there's 4 over there, but if this van could hold 3 more people, then you'd only have to squeeze in 1 person. So... yeah, well maybe that, I mean, for redundancy, I guess? I mean, you want to be safe? I guess? Or was there some reason they put me, Yuki, and Fubuki into the same car? Yeah, why would they put those 3 in the same car? Is there a reason? The car drove alongside the Okinawa monorail for a while, then went down south by a wide bypass, which is the only railway operating in Okinawa as of 2011. It's approximately 13 kilometers between the airport and the castle, which is a 30-minute transit time and 15 stations along the way. It hits 15 stations in 30 minutes? Or maybe the transit time doesn't include time stopped at stations?
暗いな。
何です？
いや、こんなに店が並んでるのにどこも真っ暗だから。
I love Misao, like, it's so dark. What's the matter? There's just these stores, and they're dark. There were lots of franchise restaurants, big supermarkets, cafeterias for tourists, and rent-a-car places all jammed together along the side of the road. But all of them were dead silent, and their lights were turned off. Barely any of the street lights were turned on, and the only cars were Japanese and US military vehicles. I didn't see anyone out walking.
10日間制と午後5時以降の外出禁止令が出ているんだ。沖縄なら安全とは言ってもね、戦時下なんだよ。以前のようにはいかない。早く戦争など終わって元に戻ってほしいものだ。
Wartime, huh?
なあ岡部君、君の知っている沖縄は夜遅くまでもっと明るくて楽しい場所だったろ？
あ、どうでしょう。俺は沖縄は初めてなので。
それはもったいないな。なら次は楽しい旅行で来られることを祈っているよ。ここは本当にいい島だ。
That's an odd thing to say, as you carefully transport important people inside separate vans. The car had headed up from the bypass over a land bridge, and then up to another road. We quickly came to a long tunnel.
実は3人に防衛局に着く前に少しだけ質問をしたくてな。それでこうして同乗してもらった。
Oh. So, those three, I mean, I get Okabe, he's Okabe, but like, Yuki and Fubuki? Well, maybe Fubuki still has the crazy encephalitis, you know, yeah, what do you call it, the thing with the time travel in the sense, you know, that thing, yeah, Yeah, reading Steiner. Yeah, that's it. I got this. My guess was right. That means there was something he wanted to ask just the three of us. But why us three? I wasn't particularly close to Yuki or Fubuki. I'd only even started talking to them a few months ago. And then I shook my head. That was before the world line changed. Maybe things were different in this world line. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Maybe they're great friends. I don't know. I had no idea what my relationship was to anyone else in this world line. Although you still seem to be friends with your friends, so that's true, at least. Since the SDF had been treating me so well, I didn't want to make Shimoyama suspicious. I decided it would be best to leave most of the talking to Yuki and Fubuki.
Amane Yuki-san.
That face. Oh, sorry. Shimoyama spoke to Yuki first. Yuki went stiff when her name was called. I could feel it, even sitting next to her.
君は橋田至君とその妹さんがどこにいるか知らないだろうか。
Sorry, water. So he's asking about where Daru is. And his little sister. Oh, so apparently he still has a little sister in this timeline. Little sister. That must be Suzuha. That would mean that even in this world line, Suzuha had come from the future and gotten to know Yuki and the others while pretending to be Suzuha's sister. Don't you mean while pretending to be Daru's sister? I think that's a mistranslation, isn't it? Pretending to be Suzuha's sister. Yeah. That should be Daru's. And the SDF evidently didn't know where Daru and Suzuha were. Why would Suzuha travel from the future to a time when it was still World War III? That seems odd. Unless World War III, she traveled back to, the summer, and then maybe World War III started in the fall, and now it's the winter. I mean, I guess maybe that makes sense. But, if it was World War III the whole time, then why would you do that?
私は
Or at least we'll warn Japan or whatever this is. Yuki fell silent, glanced over to me, as if expecting help. But I didn't know where they were, either. I didn't even have my memories of this world line, so had no way of answering. Oh yeah, they're back at the lab, we're having Christmas party, I mean, I guess that'd be a month ago now, but well, whatever, It's all good. That's why I lost Alm. I got it. But Yuki's attitude bothered me. It was as if she knew where they were and was deliberately hiding it. And that I was supposed to be hiding it too. I could figure that out. I'm sure Shimoyama could, too. A strange tension filled the car. Yuki was trying to hide it? From whom?
知らないかな?
So... Okay... So you have... everyone here who's... apparently is supposed to know where Daru is, but doesn't want to say. For some reason. Shimoyama turned around from the front passenger seat and asked again.
すみません。
Yuki bowed her head in an apology.
でも君は橋田君とかなり親しいお付き合いをしているんだよね。恋人に何の連絡もないというのは。
His lover.
携帯電話なんてもう使い物になってないじゃないですか。
連絡方法なら携帯以外にもいくらでもある。
でも本当に何も。
妹さんからも？
はい。
時に岡部君は橋田君と何か研究をしていたらしいね。
Okay. So, So apparently they were really close here. Yuki and Daru. Like, earlier than in the other timeline. Unless this is sort of like, you know, some kind of view of the future, but I'm pretty sure it's still 2010. It's just the war happened earlier in this world line. So, yeah, so now he's asking about what Okabe was researching with Daru. Which presumably could be the time machine. Or it could be something, I guess, related with Amadeus. That's possible.
Eh?
I wasn't sure how to react when the conversation suddenly turned towards me. Researching? Researching what? Uh-oh. If I panic, I'll make them suspicious.
どんな研究をしていたんだね?
I do not recall. Research? What research? I've never met research before. I would just have to give him the most harmless answers I could. Oh, is he gonna talk about the future gadgets?
研究というより、なんていうか、ちょっとした発明のアイデアというか。
発明?
竹とんぼに CCD カメラをつけて空撮ができないかとか。
CCD camera is a camera that uses semiconductors. In normal parlance, it's just refers to any extremely small camera. Yeah, attach a CCD to a bamboo copter to get a little drone going.
掃除機の排気をドライヤー代わりにしてみるとか。
ほう、なかなか面白いね。それじゃ何かとんでもないものを作っていて、それを知られないために我々から逃げたというわけではないんだね。
Well, that's a little on the nose. I think actually you're telling Okabe more than he's telling you. At this point, considering Okabe knows nothing. Making something unbelievable, and running away from us so that we wouldn't find out what it was. Well, presumably they're talking about the time machine then. I mean, they'd have to be, like the phone wave.
逃げた?
Damn. Responded. Well, maybe even the time leap machine, who knows? That was a mistake. It was a mistake. But that did mean Daru... Did that mean Daru and Suzuha were
hiding from the SDF amidst all this chaos? The SDF had risked their lives to protect me over the past month. Shouldn't I be asking them for help? I got even more confused.
知らないのならいいんだ。橋田君たちのことは保留にしておこう。
Somebody, please tell me what the right answer is. How am I supposed to respond here?
中瀬克美さん、君には別に聞きたいことがあるんだ。
私
Oh right, Fubuki has a name. Right, Katsumi Nakase. Right, I forgot that. This time it was Fubuki's turn to jump in her seat.
いやいや、そんなに緊張しなくていい。大したことじゃない。
Oh, it's supposed to the other questions you've asked. Or so Shimoyama said, but Fubuki was clearly starting to get scared. Her reaction was strange. It was too strong. Maybe the SDF forces weren't simply protecting us. For one thing, there was no way normal civilians like us merited such important treatment. But then what were they after? No, I could guess. A time machine. This war started with Russia's time machine experiments. And, of course, Nakabachi was involved. I learned from some of the soldiers that, even in this world line, he'd sought asylum in Russia. Okay, that's news. So, Nakabachi went to Russia with the time machine research. And somehow the war started really early. And Suzuha was a time traveler from the year 2036. Suzuha was here in this era. That means it was Daru who made the time machine that brought her here. Right? Okay, so presumably the part where he stole the time machine paper was before the war started, so I guess Suzuha did come back to a time when it wasn't war, but now it is war. Since the war started really soon afterwards. Huh. In the grand scheme of things. If you had a time machine, you could change the outcome of this war. It would make sense that that's what the Japanese government thought, and if that was why they're trying to capture Daru, Suza, and their friends. And if that was why they were... Is that grammatically correct? If that was why they were trying to capture Daru, Suzuha, and their friends... You can't just have like an if and then nothing after it? You know? Once I'd realized that, the whole situation started to feel terrifying to me. Was this car really headed to the Okinawa Defense Bureau? And if it was, were they really going to keep us safe here? There.
先週、中瀬さんに受けてもらった健康診断なんだが。
A physical. Oh, it's Fubuki, Super Soldier.
何か悪いところでも見つかったんですか?
Regular Captain America right here.
いや、東京で怪我をした傷も治りかけているし、体調には問題はない。ただ、ストレスがひどいようだね。
Well, I mean, to be fair, it's reasonable that she'd be under lots of stress.
まあ無理もない。あれだけひどい空襲をくぐり抜けてきたんだ。今やほとんどの民間人に PTSD があると言ってもいい。
PTSD is post-traumatic stress disorder. From the 4th edition of the DSM, published in 94, it's caused by severe shock from experiencing by an accident, disaster, crime, or other serious traumatic event. This mental disorder causes any number of stress-related issues. Symptoms include psychological instability, insomnia, confusion, memory trouble, and other problems that last for over a month. Right.
ただ君の場合、他の人とは少し違うようだ。
Oh, reading Steiner, right?
随分とリアルな夢を見たりするとか。
Right, she has those pathetic dreams, yeah.
ひどい時には白チュームというのかな。現実と夢の区別がつかなくなることもあると聞いた。
Right.
だからそれが PTSD ってことじゃないんですか？
Could be. Fubuki was too scared to speak, so Yuki interrupted curtly.
It was rare to see Yuki act like this. If nothing else, I'd never seen it before. It was plain now. Yuki didn't trust Shimoyama. In fact, she considered him an enemy.
いや、それが実に奇妙な話なんだが。
Shimoyama paused for a moment for effect, and rubbed his chin.
中瀬さんと非常によく似た白チュームを見る人たちがいる。しかも一人や二人じゃない。
Well, didn't you say like everybody has PSTD now? I mean, PSTD. The PlayStation television device. Totally not a PSTV.
もちろん程度の差はあるが、国内だけでもすでに十数名ほど見つかっている。
10 people in Japan with funky dreams.
どうやら海外にもいるようだ。まあ、西側諸国の情報しかないがね。
Okay, so they have some information from the Western countries about other people with this condition.
そんなのただの偶然じゃ。
Fubuki was incredibly frightened. So I spoke in her place. Oh, I mean, did she have some, like, maybe she had some dream of, like, something really bad happening to these three in the van and all that? I mean, that's possible. In that case, she might be really, really freaked out. And she seems to be pretty freaked out.
プーシンを知っているだろ？
Oh, Pushin! Oh, not that. Vladimir Putin. From 2000 to 2008, he was the second president of Russia. After 2008, he became the prime minister, a former KGB agent. Suddenly, Shimoyama turned his gaze towards me and asked me a question.
プーシン、ソ連の書記長ですよね。
Alright, Putin. Right. So, why are they talking? Yeah, I was like, why would they talk about Putin? I almost said the president of Russia. I managed to stop myself. Alright, because it's still the Soviet Union in this timeline. Somehow. Soviet Union still exists in this world line. Putin's title was Grand Secretary, not President. I'd heard that during my time at Aruma.
そう。だが、中瀬さんは興味深いことに、プーシンがロシアの大統領だと答えたとか。
Oh. Right, the reading Steiner and all that, right? Huh. So, Fubuki's memories are all screwed up, or dreams or whatever. Probably had a dream of, Putin being, you know, president instead of, whatever it was, General Secretary. What?
すみません。なんか寝ぼけてたんです。それに私、勉強とか全然ダメで。
いや、そうじゃない。白チュームを見る人たちの特徴の一つなんだ。皆一様にそう口にする。プーシン大統領とね。
Ah, yes. Yes, that's the first thing, you know. Hey, Mom, I had a scary dream last night. Oh, what is Putin's title? What, Mom? Don't ask me about that. I had a dream. It was scary.
ゴリバチョフやレリツィンのことも大統領と呼ぶものばかりだ。
Oh, Gorbachev and Letsin. Right. A former USSR politician after
the fall of the Soviet Union. He became the first president of Russia as well as prime minister. Died in 2007. And Gorbachev is general secretary to the Soviet Communist Party, the last leader of the USSR. He executed the perestroika and, brought the Cold War to an end. That's all history.
そのおかげで研究者たちは陰で大統領病とか呼んでるそうだが、センスのないネーミングだな。
The president's disease. No way. Is he talking about reading Steiner? There was a strong chance that people besides me had that power, if not as acutely. I never found out for sure, but what Ferris had said in the Alpha World line clearly suggested it. So, it was certainly possible that Shimoyama's waking dreams were actually effects of reading Steiner. If they are all aware of the world line shift a month ago, just like me, if Ibuki had the same memories of the other world line they had, it would make perfect sense that she called Pushin president.
ゴリバチョフレリツィン
知らないのかね？世界史の授業でやっただろ。
私、高校時代からずっと理系だったもので。
Oof.
常識だと思っていたが、今の若い子は知らないのか。最近の学生がここまで不勉強とはね。岡部君は知っているだろう。ゴリバチョフやレリツィンくらい。
ええ、まあ。
ベルリンの壁の崩壊やペレストロイカ。
Yeah, perestroika. Right. The restructuring of the Soviet economy, right. She introduced market-oriented economics that was implemented in 1985. It was an attempt to reboot a stalled socialist economy, but it led to the end of the Communist Party's one-party dominance and the collapse of the Soviet Union. The Berlin Wall was divided into two sides, the east, controlled by the Soviet Union, and the west by America. England and France. Long pause for effect. Later, Germany would split into West Germany and East Germany. The portion of Berlin in East Germany remained its capital, but West Berlin remained occupied by Allied powers, while being cut off from the rest of West Germany, which lay approximately 100 miles to the west. In 1961, East Germany built a wall around the city in response to continuing attempts by its citizens to seek asylum in West Berlin. This was the Berlin Wall. Until its destruction in 1989, it was a symbol of the divide between East and West Germany. Additionally, West Berlin was never officially West German territory. They simply operated as a stand-in for foreign affairs and currency administration.
はい。それも教科書で。
Just a second after the words out of my mouth, an alarm went off mine. Yeah, you shouldn't have said that, right? Because those things probably didn't happen in this timeline. Something was wrong. There was something strange about what Shimoyama was saying. And then I realized. The East and West were caught up in the middle of a world war. How could the Berlin Wall have fallen? And could Gorbachev really execute perestroika? By the time I realized he tricked me, it was too late. A panic appeared on my face.